felt they controlled it. They felt they controlled the levy or the lever of who could get visibility and what's talked about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, again, hopefully I'm not coming across big headed, but it might sound like it. I don't know if there's a way not to sound like it. These days, when it comes to like music conversations or narratives or whatever, pretty much it's usually from somebody I'm cool with or me that people are talking about these topics. Like it's the landscape has completely changed where it's something that we're doing, and not only when I even say weed, I'm not saying I even add Drake to this, right? And this is where I'm starting to realize, I'm gonna get to a bigger picture or a bigger topic in a second, where I'm realizing that the gatekeepers who used to be like, oh, okay, you need my approval, or, that's when they're gripes with Drake. Yo, you don't come to our radio station no more to freestyle to prove that you deserve this. You just do it. But even me, like, a lot of these media guys, they kind of look at it like, yo, remember they used to just shit on me, like, yo, he's just in his basement. What the fuck? Like, now when there's a reposition of the deck, and they're watching where attention naturally goes to, it really gets them upset. And again, just give me a second. We're going to get to those points in a second. But yeah, I just posted a picture of me, a video of me and Drake, 8 million views. And it's not, I'm not necessarily, well, I am kind of a numbers guy, but I didn't realize sometimes how much this sucks up or eats up or dominates the timeline till I seen people recently start coming up with these like really kooky, like conspiracy theories. Like, people got like RICO cases in how they're thinking, how the internet is moving, or this is gonna sound so crazy, y'all, but I'm gonna explain it in a few seconds. Anyway, so I posted this and pretty much went viral. I said the choice was $1 million in cash in the duffel or dinner with the GOAT. You feel me? You feel me? Now you gotta keep in mind, my boys has broke every record known to man. He's the Billboard king. He owns basically the albums and the singles record. Come on, man. He said, yo, do you want $1 million in a duffel bag or do you want dinner? That's Soto. Yo, shout out to my boy XQC. He was right. What everybody don't know, the whole internet, this is the actual plot twist, not Drake's plot twist, the real plot twist. Told Drake I wanted the dinner. Bruv, it wasn't for him. I think it was because of the food. I wanted to eat at Soto. I turned the Millie down. Yeah, I happened to get a chain. Yeah, we got some game. He kicked some knowledge to me. Of course, that knowledge is probably worth like $30 million, but it's all good. I really went for the food. I picked the food. I've been getting DoorDash every day. I'm like, yo, $1 million or eating at Soto. I hear like it's an amazing place. They thought I picked Drake. No, I picked the food. The food was amazing. I'm in there having a good time. I happen to get a chain. I didn't know, nice chain. I like the chain. The chain's amazing. But, I picked the food. That's what nobody understood. Come on, man. How you got all the DoorDash jokes about me, but don't realize food or a millie? I picked the food. So, anyway, the internet's having a good time with it. I'm a great sport when it comes to shit like that. But I did realize, like, there's so many people. And again, I'm getting closer and closer. We're going to talk about it in a minute. I hopped on stream this morning so early to give you guys appreciation of what we've built, but also even people that support me that might not be in our immediate like inner circle when it comes to audience, is that I want to congratulate everyone because we've changed the internet. Like, we've completely changed the internet, and I'm gonna explain how. All right, this happens. This is good. Which, by the way, look at my other tweets too. They all went viral. Which is they said Drake is gonna beat Jay-Z's record for most #1 albums by a rapper in Billboard 200 history. Okay. By the way, I do want to, I've seen people say, they're trying to do like, oh, it's only because Drake. No, Jay-Z's record existed because he dropped his first album in like 1996. When does his last album drop? That was dropped in 2017. So let's actually do the math on that. 1996, he took how many years? So that's 2017. And by the way, he used to drop an album per year. Drake never did that. What is this? Yeah, 2017 from 1996. We're talking about 20 years, right? Drake got his first #1 album, I think, with Thank Me Later. And that was in 2009. And in 2026, he's now beating Jay's record. So it took him, let's be fair, it took him 17 years. It took Jay 19 or 20. We could probably go album by album. Let me see, how many albums does he have? How many albums does Jay-Z have? Jay-Z has 18 full albums. No, we need solo albums. How many solo albums? Well, actually, it doesn't matter because solo or not, it still counts. So so he has 8. It took him 18 albums to do. So solo or group, it doesn't matter. 18. How many albums does Drake have? It took Drake 11. You know, whatever stat you want to use and put, Drake is a GOAT. That's just what it is. Like, get over it. Live with it. It is what it is. Okay. So by all numbers, Drake has accomplished something in a shorter time span with less albums. And at the end of the day, we just have to realize we are in Iceman season. And I know you're going to say this is glazing, but I'm just going by the numbers. The numbers, men lie. Again, he told us men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the numbers now say that Jay-Z should be honored to be number 2 to the only guy who's really doing shit out here, which is Drake, who's now number 1. It just is what it is. And I even said, man, it looked like Jay-Z. We might have to get Jay-Z a dinner now with Drake. You know what I mean? You never know. Maybe he'll like the ravioli, or maybe he'll pick up some game from the boy, El Champagne, right? We don't know. Anyway, I said he should be honored. But what I did want to get to, first and foremost, I couldn't wait to get on. And I never, let me tell you where some of this disdain is coming towards people like me. Right? And I want to tell you this kooky theory. And I want to tell you this theory now before I explain everything for the next hour. And everybody knows I think I'm the most transparent person in media. I think most transparent person in rap, period. But okay, we'll just start with media. But let me make this point, and then you're going to say to yourself, what the fuck are you talking about, Act? Nobody thinks this. And I'm here to tell you that's actually not true. There's a lot of people who think it. And actually, they've spent hundreds of thousands, if not maybe $1 million, trying to prove this. And the only reason why I even address it, I'll address it now just like publicly, is because I've always addressed it. And I got like, a couple of interesting calls yesterday. They were like, oh, they got the files. And I was like, what files? And they told me some shit, which I was like, are y'all serious? So let me tell you the theory, then I'll play you some clips. There is a theory that because academics, this is what I'm hearing. They said academics, Drake, and Aiden Ross are botting or gaming the algorithm for music, for media, and I'm going to tell you why it comes from. They say they can't scroll on their Twitter feed without seeing us. They feel it's not natural. They're like, how does academics has that many people supporting him? By the way, some of this is coming from my media compadres. They're basically used to be gatekeepers, or they rely on a platform, or they rely on whatever entity to give them visibility. They can't understand how academics is consistently talked about. They thought they got rid of him. They're like, he's banned on Twitch. We got him. All right. He's off of Complex. No more Everyday Struggle. No more Spotify deal. They've only talked about me more, right? So they have me involved in it. Then they said Drake can't be this popular, which is so interesting. Because I felt like people, they're either in denial or not realizing that Drake's numbers organically have never compared to rappers. It's only ever compared to Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny, which are not rap stars or rap acts. So how could you think he doesn't have that fan base? But they're very, I think there's a little bit of upset there too. They're confused why Drake, who doesn't do what everybody else does. He doesn't deal with 99% of rap media. He doesn't do what everybody does. He feels like, I'm not going to lie, like Drake is like, he fucks with a few streamers. That's it. So everybody's like, how is he that popular? He's not the culture anymore. The culture, they say all that. And then, I don't know how Aiden Ross kind of gets into this, but Aiden Ross is supposedly in this, where they're like, nah, Aiden Ross is like a paid type of guy. And I know, it sounds bananas, okay? And I keep telling you, every time I hear these things, I always got to sit back to be like, wait, do they really think I'm that powerful? I mean, I do think I am popular, right? But they're making up conspiracy theories, like literal conspiracy theories. Now we're gonna get to it in a second, but let me play this. And I thought it was hilarious, but I expect nothing different from these particular guys who, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if I were y'all, I would hate me too. And why I say that is that the landscape of media shifted so much. Pause. I've sucked the air out the room. No one cares generally about what you guys are talking about. There's no conversation that really is stemmed from anything you guys are talking about anymore. Half because it's bullshit. The second half is because you guys ain't really talking about shit. And why do I say that, or what do I mean? Because these are the people kind of fueling these conspiracy theories. But I want to put the conspiracy theory out there. And well, I'm going to clear it up, but this shit sounds so dope. I kind of hoped it was true. Like, I heard some theories about me, Drake, and Aiden. I'm like, I hope this was true. Fortunately, it's not, but I wish it was true. So we'll address it. But so while I was breaking down Iceman, doing my thing, you know what I mean? I started talking about some of the failed media personalities out there. Their shows have been canceled. They're irrelevant. They're halfway broke or they're on the unemployment line. And we've probably trolled them by offering them a fake job just to see if they would send in their resume and their LinkedIn profile just to laugh. Where's she at? Where's the job at? Because we're not hiring you. Yeah, we've been having a good time. I'm sorry. Y'all had a great time for a while, but let us have a good time. So, I get it. I wouldn't play victim. I seen this guy, and I don't even remember. I think I probably did oh, no. I tweeted at him. So let me be very clear. So I'll start this part off by saying, ladies and gentlemen, when I say woke, I'm talking about this. You need to align really well with the rest of the quote unquote black voice to be accepted. Like, I'm gonna try to do a better job explaining it. The reason why I always said this Kendrick era killed hip hop is because when hip hop was always thriving, we always knew it was multifaceted. You had the picket fence, or we're carrying the signs, we gonna be all right type niggas like Kendrick, and we always accepted and we knew that there's a place for that. You got the drug dealers and the mushmouth retards like Lil Baby. You had the eclectic but still street dudes like Young Thug. You had the straight up drill rappers like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. You had the emo rappers, they were like Uzi and like Trippie Redd. You had the lyricists that just couldn't make a hit. I could go on, but I'm talking about how diverse hip hop was. You know what never happened in hip hop? There was never, before that, this whole dot era shit, there was never a time that people felt like they had to use their moral superiority to tell people what should be done and what should not be done. For example, no one would go to a drill rapper and say, hey, why are you saying you're smoking on his dead man's? That's not cool. We shouldn't encourage violence. How about you clean it up? Hey, you just said, there's a line. Okay, Dej Loaf. Dej Loaf has a line that says, I really hate niggas. And she says she's a Nazi. By the way, fire song. Everybody know Dej Loaf. Try me if you don't know. Nobody goes to Dej Loaf and said, hey, you need to denounce the Nazi stuff. We know this is rap music. There's shared understanding. There's multi-varied approaches and also different type of people, right? If you want these conscious people, you could go get them. If you want the ignorant, you could go get them. It always existed. What happened after this Kendrick era started and fans now started looking at everything like, oh, he has a case. And they started looking at these things like we were now judging people on soapboxes. Hip hop has always been for the imperfect. We love the people that got 15 felonies. We love the people who caught a body but beat it. We love the people who, again, their rap sheet has never been perfect. So once hip hop turned into a place where now they're breaking down if you're a good person or not, that would never last because hip hop always embraced imperfection. That's when that started from them trying to demonize Drake, saying he's a PDF, which was completely false. But then that turned into we're judging everyone. The rappers, remember I always tell y'all, the rappers who I'm talking to, and they're like, yo, like, they're talking about reaction now to the music. They're saying, yo, Kendrick killed it. It's street rappers who's telling me this. It's not conscious niggas. It's street rappers. They're like, yo, bro, they rap ignorance. And what happened in hip hop is that you had people now trying to hold braggadocious drug rap or street rap or, yo, you might have a rapper say, I slap a bitch, blah, blah, blah. That's always been in hip hop. Like, this is not in speech. Like, in speech, if somebody said, man, I slap this bitch right now, be like, yo, bro, chill out, man. You're not supposed to hit women. But if a nigga be like, yo, I slap my bitch, like, brother, we know how hip hop is. So hip hop conversations start getting sanitized by what I call these woke people. Okay. Why do I say all that? Because there's this fucking idiot. His name is Jeremy. He used to be on a show that got canceled. He got canned. He got fired because after they couldn't hate no more on Drake, there was no more interest in him. He made a tweet and he was like, yo, the White House, which the White House has a TikTok account. Now, I want to show you the White House TikTok account really quickly because it's important for me to make that point. So if you go to the White House on TikTok, you could click any video and you're going to hear a music in the background. Like, look at this. They're showing who's Chameleonaire. Have you listened to the lyrics of 99.9% of rappers, including Kendrick? They're not like necessarily social justice warriors all the time, or they're not like priests, or they're not like popes. They kind of talk shit. They encourage violence. They do what they do as rappers. So this guy is saying that Drake is tone deaf for having an album called Iceman. Then he further criticized him by saying Drake hasn't denounced the fact that the White House has used his music. So I responded by saying, man, shut your bitch ass up, man. You're talking about a rapper needs to denounce free promo from the fucking White House. I'm so glad niggas like you was out of here. There's no denouncing, my nigga. Right? And basically when I said there's no denouncing, it's like no one else is held to the standard. And this is why Drake hates y'all hip-hop media niggas. And this is why y'all gonna continue to be on the sidelines and be salty. And this is why I might post that goddamn chain 55 more million times. You know why? Because your bitch ass is salty on the sideline. You got to talk about the guy all the time. And the only nigga he respects in this whole shit is me. So who's our bitch? You, right? So that's why. Because you got, look at this. A rapper needs to denounce some shit. Now, this is not even a direct defense. This is just like, brother, I don't care what rapper. Here's the interesting part. It's twofold. Kendrick Lamar's music has also gotten used by the White House. Apparently, when the White House made a TikTok, which supposedly was last year, Kendrick's music was one of the first songs that got put up there. Nobody had a problem then. Nobody called for Kendrick to speak out, boycott, to denounce, to step away, to indict, or indict verbally Trump for using it. Kendrick Lamar, White House music. Let's see. Now, these are the same people who are mum, right? They're mum on. Remember, Wasserman. Wasserman, which is an agency, the biggest booking agency, that essentially the founder, right? Casey Wasserman, he was actually flirting in the DMs with Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003. He was literally in the Epstein files. People felt uncomfortable working with him because he was in the Epstein files. A bunch of artists actually announced that they're leaving. They said many artists have left, and this was a depiction. Subtronic says, I want to address it. I'm leaving. We had other people, hold on, Levity Music, and there's another one who's a bigger artist that left. Let me see. Orville Peck, Weighs Blood. There was someone else that was bigger. I'm sorry. Oh, Chappelle Rowan. They exited because they said they felt uncomfortable that their agency worked, that the agency that they're signed to was in cahoots with Epstein back in the day. You know who signed to Wasserman as a artist? Kendrick Lamar. He signed over there. He was quiet about his agent being involved with Epstein stuff. And I said he should have said something, but really, I don't really care if he did say something. I just want people to apply the same rules. By the rule that this idiot's going by, if Drake should speak out about the White House, which, by the way, is not Donald Trump's house, it's the official house of the President of the United States, if they use 2 songs of Drake and he needs to denounce it, speak out, how come Kendrick, who then gets signed to the agency in bed with Epstein, he doesn't have to say a word? But it's selective politics, man. Like, they don't have the same standards for Jay-Z or for Kendrick as they would have for Drake. And I've said this repeatedly. So this guy, he comes out with this, but of course the internet, shit. Once I replied to this nigga, I felt like his skin was on fire. Like, he was going through it. And he made a video. And I got to play you this video because it's going to get into my bigger story. This was actually really hilarious. Check this one out, chat.
DJ Academics took some time off from scarfing down Cheetos or gargling on his favorite rapper's meat to reply to my tweet that now has over 2 million views. I'm gonna get back to Ac in about 20 seconds, but let me back up first. When Drake's Iceman album dropped, the White House posted this. Then a couple days later, they posted this video calling Trump the Iceman. So I tweeted this. White House has now made 2 promos using Drake's album, which he hasn't denounced yet, but they thought we were crazy for saying Iceman is a tone-deaf album title in this climate. Academics responded super rationally with this. Now, I wasn't shocked that Ac was triggered. He has been caping for his daddy for years. And not only that, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ac, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social.
Jeremy, I got $100,000 for you if you provide that. Head of Truth. Listen. You know what's so funny? Let me see. Who's this person? It's ran by who? Who's the head of Truth Socials? Devin Nunes? Shit, I wish I was. You know what's so funny? So this guy called himself trying to call me out. First of all, I'm the only person who will gladly tell you where my political affiliations lie at the moment. I supported and voted for Donald Trump last time. May not be turned out to be the best of choices these days. Next time, if there's a dope-ass Democratic candidate, I'll proudly say I vote for them too. I'm an American who feel like, even my audience probably don't like the fact that I'm that open with my political views. But listen, I'm not staunchly Democrat or Republican. I'm going to be honest about who I support. Now, let's just get to what's actually important. Have I ever gotten paid or getting funded? Because that's now the new thing. Like, they're now, they act like I'm like this big entity. I guess I am, right? They're like, yo, Ac is getting funded by Truth Social. Bitch, how? Like, how? By the way, I'm glad you brought this to light because everybody knows I'm one of the most transparent people in media. I've always said I pimp the record labels. Listen, I'm a media personality, but I also have a platform which we put up a lot of music. Yes, they got to pay their due to go get access to my page if they want to promote their song, their album, or their music video. It happens all the time. I've told you guys this. That's no secret. Now, I'm not opposed to taking political money. I just ain't get it yet. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. Now, obviously, if I ever took money from politics, you'd be like, oh, I'll put up a post and it's like an ad. I don't give a fuck. I do ads, 100%. Like, this is where I'm breaking the mold for media people because they usually do it under the table, and because some of them used to be on radio, if you do that, that's illegal. What I do is what every media company does. I definitely run ads. By the way, this guy was on a show with another bozo, DJ Dickhead and Elliot Wilson, and they don't realize that they were signed to, what's it called, Hip Hop DX or Uprocks, one of those companies. They both do what I do and that everybody else does as media companies. We run ads. So Hip Hop DX was running ads in the background of whatever the fuck y'all were doing. That's how it works. Now, this idea that you're getting paid and they control your voice, that's not true, right? That's not true. Well, maybe it does work for certain people. I've never gotten paid politically at all. Actually, I want to get paid politically that I could. Listen, if Trump sent me $10,000 and say, yo, could you post this on Instagram? And it's say it's one of those videos where it's like, allow me to reintroduce myself and him stepping out of the jet. Oh, it's up there. It's up there. If Biden's old senile ass sent me the same 10K, like, could you post this up on there? It's up there. I do media, brother, and maybe that doesn't understand. You don't understand that. What my opinions are and my voice is, right, is very different from my platform. My platform, I posted rappers I don't even like. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So again, a radio station only exists because it runs ads. I'm telling you that Academics, the brand, we do run ads. It's nothing I have to keep a secret. Say Cheese runs ads. No Jumper runs ads. If you think that is somehow unethical, eat dick, because you were definitely working for companies that do the same thing. But I want to continue to challenge you, since you said you're hearing stuff. Has politicians or the head of Truth Social confirmed that he's funding me or I've ever gotten paid from Truth Social? I would like for you to show that proof. That's a very heavy accusation, one which I'm telling you never happened. The only time I ever got offered political money, and I said this, everybody who watches me know this, I got offered like 50 grand. It wasn't this cycle. It was when Trump was running, but he lost. So when he lost to Joe Biden the first time, that's when I got offered money by the Democrats. But it wasn't clear how they were trying to offer this bag of money and what they needed me to do. It felt like it was, hey, this is just money for you to start aligning in your thought. And y'all know me. I'm always going to think what I think and say what I want to say. But if you want to buy some ads, you absolutely can. If Joe Biden send me $1 million and he wants his banner up there, you're going to see Joe Biden's banner up there until I get that $1 million worth of brand ad sale out of it. I do business, and I'm not here to be ashamed of saying it. I do business with every record label. I do business with usually hip or urban brands. I try not to like do other stuff. It just wouldn't make sense because I'm a hip hop guy. But if a politician comes, and maybe you'll help me here, because if a politician comes and says, I got 50,000 for you, put my banner, like, I don't know, let's say it says Republican 2028, put it up top. It's up top. Come to me with that 100K. If the Democrats say, yo, we really need you, all we need is that banner up there that says Democrats for 2026. It's gonna be up there. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I do ads. But what you guys are saying is blatantly incorrect, that I am getting paid by them to have an opinion. And I would like to challenge you, Jeremy. And I'm gonna get into this bigger discussion because apparently I was put on game that this was conversations happening around these water coolers or whatever. Let me let this guy finish.
Super rationally with this. Now, I wasn't shocked that Ack was triggered. He has.
And by the way, every time, you ever notice every time I put out a big number bet and I say, yo, take me up on it, just show the proof, right? Show the proof that I got paid to do something political from either side, and I've done it, and from either side of the aisle. Show me I'm on air saying I have $100,000. I will be forced to by my audience and by people just saying you're a bitch ass nigga by not. We could talk. But these guys, they're going to just switch the subject after this. Every time you hold them to a point, they switch the subject.
Has been caping for his daddy for years. And not only that, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ack, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social. So I know what.
By the way, actually, I do want to even add to the Truth Social thing. I need to talk to somebody at Truth Social. 2 weeks ago, for no apparent reason, because I made a Truth Social account when Trump just announced it. And because I'm like, I got to reserve my name early on a new social media platform. I've never posted on there. 2 weeks ago, they banned me. I don't know why. Like, they just literally banned me. Like, I could actually show you the thing. It says, Academics, you have been banned from Truth Social. And I was like, I don't even post there. And I was like, I think they got to be cleaning up accounts because I've never posted on there. So I'm probably just wasting space. But, yeah, it's shit. If I was getting paid by them, I would have loved this shit. So Truth Social... I want to let Truth Social know, and any Republican-leaning companies that spend money with creators, do not listen to this idiot or anybody else that might even be trying to shame me or whatever. I will tell y'all this: Big Ack is always open for business. I don't feel no type of way about you. Just come holler at me. We talk dollars and cents, and we'll make it make some sense, even if it ain't common.
Social. So I know why you jump so quickly and aggressively on that tweet, and I know where your opinion's coming from. I also know that your opinion on music isn't from you either because you're getting paid by every label.
So that's what I go look back at my Instagram. I posted, yo, Rich the Kid got some shit coming out. I ain't hear it. That's all. He's promoting an album. You see, these guys are just fucked up and like broke. You know what I mean? So like, they're in a weird position saying how did Act figure it out when years ago we used to call him an idiot, but now he's like a genius, right? Now I'll put that out. If you're a record label and you have artists, I would tell y'all should all reach out to me directly to have a relationship with me. Some of y'all end up paying for posts on my page, comes through different agencies, and you're probably getting taxed twice as much. So if you're paying $5-6K for academics posts where you're going through this middle guy to this middle guy to this middle guy, just come holler at Big Ack himself. You know, I'll get my sales guy. He'll talk to you. We'll give you a deal. You get it for even cheaper. But these days, you know, I do business with music labels too. Like, what do you think? When I don't hit on stake, you think the Lambo don't get gassed up? You don't think the Maybach works? It got to work. So I do high level business, and I got a media company, and I am not ashamed to say that I do. You guys could use my platform at times for a billboard for your album. Now, here's the thing: what you can't do. Have y'all seen me go kick it with any of these rappers? That ain't my friends. Drake, my favorite. I'm with him. YB's my mans. I'm on tour with him. You don't see me in those shit where you're like, nah, Act got this. No. So my opinion is always very clean and clear. But cool story, bro, if you're trying to, you know, get that one off. Oh, shit. Did I click all of them?
DJ Academics, but I did some digging. I have some sources too, Ack, and I know that you're getting paid by the head of Truth Social. So I know why you jump so quickly and aggressively on that tweet, and I know where your opinion's coming from.
Yo, newsflash. You see all you bitch ass niggas in hip hop, you scared to lose your audience or whatever. I told niggas I fuck with Trump. I fuck with Trump. Me. My audience don't have to. I do. And I don't care if I'm black, whatever. I fucked with him when he got elected. I don't think he's doing the best job now. When people said, do you regret voting for him or supporting him? No. Because the other option I thought was worse. I don't care. Y'all can't try to like black me to death. And it's kind of interesting because this week I've been on like black people been loving me because I'm like, you know, I kind of handle the sneako shit. I'm like getting this Chud the Biller shit in tow. But then people want to be like, no, this is a reason why I know I'm not being controlled. Because you don't think that they would want me not to support Trump? Bro, I'm not going to keep it a secret that I supported the nigga. I'm going to just tell you what it is. There was 2 candidates last time. I thought Trump was going to be the better candidate. I wanted Trump to win. He won. He ain't doing the best job now. I could criticize him too. Man, I don't know what he got going on with Israel. He need to calm it down. He need to focus on what we got going on, or this shit not gonna look good. But he's also in his last term. It's kind of looking like he don't give a fuck. I could be honest. Kind of looking like he don't, right? But these guys, they actually think the fact that they think I'm genuinely not someone who likes Trump. They think that I'm getting paid to like him, which I'm like, what's that paycheck looking like? Like, this guy think he's gonna shame it. Yo, if they had told me, like, I ain't gonna lie, all right, let's create a paycheck. Yo, maybe I would do some fraudulent shit if Biden comes to me with like, or whoever is gonna be a Democratic candidate, and say, yo, we got 15 million for you to fake like somebody. I might be like, wait, that's against my morals, but did you say 1.5? Maybe then we'll talk or something like that. But brother, if anybody follows, my audience follows me, they know like they might disagree, but they understand like, yo, bro, he supported Trump for this last time in presidency, but he's not completely like whatever gone as some people might think, because he also is criticizing Trump. It just is what it is. Y'all niggas just, especially a white dude is gonna act like he's the biggest Democrat. So if that's the thing that, you know, y'all think y'all got me on because I am bold enough to say that I supported Trump, that means all y'all is pussy.
I also know that your opinion on music isn't from you either because you're getting paid by every label. But maybe that's for another video. But this wasn't just about them.
Yo, thanks to Dana White. He invited me to the joint. Me and Big 45. Why is there orange in this? Me and Big 45 snapped it up. Yeah, what's the problem?
Using a song. When you align yourself with people like this, or this, or this, and call your album this, when this
Oh, your album Iceman.
is happening, with an album cover that has this sign that also kind of looks like this sign, you can't be shocked when they do this. I don't think Drake's intention was any of this. Drake even said this on his album. But if that's not something that you want to be associated with, then just say something. That
Kendrick, the Migos, Jay-Z didn't say nothing.
was my only point. Ack thinks that you don't have to denounce anything, but that's because it's something he's aligned with. For some of the biggest artists and celebrities in the world, it was as easy as this, or this, or this, and even this. Oh, and Ack, you might want to do some history on the word woke, because I don't think you're using it right. But that's for another video. Iceman's gonna sell incredible numbers, pour up some Henny. You can go back to arguing with women online like you usually do. Oh, I almost forgot. Congrats on your new OVO chain. I know you're gonna take great care of it. You earned it. I'm happy for you.
Oh, man, this guy. Okay, so I saw this video. I'm like, you know, again, I know I speak in circles, but I was gonna come online and tell the truth like I always do. Every music label pays me. I've said that in a deposition. The second part is, no, I haven't done political ads. I want to. So, hey, if anybody got like the Democrat budget, send that over here to me. I got a lot of, bruv, like I got a lot of cars to service. I need some bread. If anybody got some political money, I start at 50,000 and up. You can run an ad. You can run it on my stream. Facts. 50,000 and up. Straight up. So I don't know. These guys think like, oh, we're exposing you. No. Now that you think I'm doing it, first of all, I'm trying to get part of that because political money is way longer than rap money. Yeah, I could charge some nigga like $6,000 or something like that for a post. Yo, I could charge 30 grand for some political shit. Anybody in politics, I don't care what side you fall on. Democrat, you could be libertarian, you could be independent, you could be Republican. If you got 25, 50 bands, you got 50 bands, and you trying to put something on the top of my screen, or you want to run your little 30-second ad dissing your op, brother, holla at me. academicsmusic@gmail.com. I'm going to get, you see, that's why I don't got to chase Netflix and them other thing. I get it out in the mud. Listen, I'm a real nigga to the bone gristle. Like, I'm going to get to it. So what this boy is talking about, hey, to all the political people who might be looking at me, don't let this fool scare you off. I'm open for business, big business. Now, I will continually say, you tell me what opinion I've ever had that's manufactured because of money. None. So, you know, you're just coming across stupid, but I get it. Like, you know, the hate is lingering. So he mentioned something that was interesting, and this is where I got like a couple calls, you know, shout out to people who try to quote unquote put me up on game. So I don't know if I remember, I told you like a while ago, I think possibly Rock Nation is behind this, but remember I told you that they were like sitting outside Grand Wizard's house, you know, or the person they thought was Grand Wizard, because Grand Wizard is an AI. I don't know if you guys know. You got Grok, you got Claude, and my favorite AI is Grand Wizard Chat Nigga. You know what I mean? Like, if I say to Grand, yo, Grand, I need X, Y, and Z, he's almost quicker than Grok. He hits me with it immediately. Like, so that's my guy. Anyway, apparently what's been going on is connected to that. Now, there's only two sources this could come from, because I can't see no one else paying to fund this. It's either a Rock Nation initiative, which I'm leaning towards, I'm like 84% on that, or 16% on Kendrick Lamar conspiracy. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I realized, have you seen these where it says Aiden Ross, Drake sued? There's about like 5 of them. They're actually accusing Drake, Aiden Ross, and now they're throwing me in the mix. They're saying we are in a racketeering thing. Now, I'm gonna give you the short of it, but apparently the long months of research has culminated with them now sending the info around to some of these media personalities. That's why you get this guy jumping out. However, first of all, even when I talked to, so I talked to someone who was kind of like saying the same things as him. They were like, yeah, they said that you supposedly received money from like political shit. And I'm like, show me that receipt. And then they confused me with Grand Wizard. Like, they didn't know who it really was. And I was like, all right, so what else are they saying? So I'm only saying this and bringing this to light because there's a theory, and supposedly none of this is criminal necessarily, but they think there's a big expose about to happen of me, Drake, and Aiden Ross. Let me break this conspiracy down. I mentioned at the beginning of all this, friend. They claim that Drake is paying to control the internet. No, I'm serious. So if you're a fan page right now and you've been posting some Iceman stuff, or you post with the other they think that somehow Drake, let me break down this conspiracy theory they have. They say Drake is at the top. He pays me, he pays Grand Wizard, he pays Aiden, and he does it in a weird way underneath the banner of stake, which I'm like, I wish Drake would be sending me some bread. Like, this would be lit. Like, you know, Law, I'm supporting. Yo, when the person's telling me this shit last time, I'm like, yo, I've had the same question. Y'all need to show me proof that Drake has ever paid for something, because I'm going to hit him directly and be like, yo, Drake, you dropping a bag on everybody but me? Now, I know I got to change, but I'm like, yo, shit of love, brother love. Anyway, that's the conspiracy theory. They claim stake is part of the way that the money gets transferred so people can't figure it out. And basically, so those are the players in the conspiracy. By the way, this is everybody in media now. They're so irrelevant. They actually believe this. Because the people who call me about this, they wouldn't call me if they didn't think that, oh, nah, they really thought they got something on y'all. So keep in mind, we had private investigators go overseas trying to find Grand. But he lives in the cloud. They try to find a bunch of other people, like just a lot of money spent. And the narrative they've came up with is that Drake is paying me, Aiden, under stake to control the internet. Now, how's the internet controlled? And this is the thing you really got to hear. The people who I'm putting belt to ass with, that's why I'm number one on the media list, is trying to figure out how our audience is this big. They're trying to figure out, which I think with Drake, it should be self-explanatory. He's the biggest rapper. They think Drake's numbers is inflated. So I'll give you an example. They're like, well, when we watch people scroll, like if we scroll on Twitter these days, all we see is Drake, academics, and goddamn Drake, academics, Aiden Ross, or some shit that they talk about. And these people are upset. These people are like, yo, we used to control the conversations, but these days, these guys are dominating it. Now, I literally told this person, I'm like, oh, so that was your theory. And I'm like, okay, so that's the theory? They said, yes. There's been these private investigators. They put together so much info to figure out how Drake, Aiden Ross, and academics are controlled. Which, by the way, doesn't make sense now. When Ebro was going on his rant, he was like, yo, I notice anything that goes against Drake and Ak, yo, I get a bunch of bots getting at me. So I want to point out what they claim, might be coming out in a big expose. They said me, Drake, Aiden Ross, and Grant is in it somewhere, have figured out a way to control the entire internet narrative. And when we talk, as opposed to them talking, the algorithm is so flooded, it's just so overpowered that they know these are paid things by supposed Drake. And one of the only reasons I even kind of like track back some of these, because I'm laughing at it. I'm like, yo, bro, chat, you know what they're describing, by the way? They're describing clipping. That's what they're describing. Yo, these guys are so much old heads. They're describing clipping. Yo, y'all went to go stalk. Now it makes sense. The dudes they stalked that I knew, even Grant, they were clipping. These dudes are such old heads, they don't realize that clipping is the new way. So they're like, nah, something must be good. How does Drake? They just found out about clipping and they spent hundreds of thousands for goddamn because I remember and by the way, this is why 15% I think it might be Kendrick's people. Because when I talked to Anthony Salah, you know what he said to me? He said, yo, we got private investigators on Grand right now. And I'm like, huh? But so that happened then. Months later, more private investigators went to go try to, whatever with Grand. And then they went to, I won't call this person's name out, but they went to his house too. And I was like, why are they going to people who have worked for me? You know who the people who have worked for me? I don't know if y'all know who Grand really is. Obviously, he's an AI. But Grand is a chat nigga. Grand used to just be in our call, being here watching, and he started making memes of me. Grand is Fearbuck. Grand is Scuba Ryan. So the point I'm trying to tell y'all, chat, there's somebody, I don't know exactly who, I think it's either Rock Nation or the Kendrick people, they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars not even stalking me, it's stalking the kids and the unknown people that they claim is running the internet, not realizing, dummy, it's called clipping. And here's the thing, I've always been a guy who I built my career online. Gladfully, all my guys who, I've kind of I've helped Grand's helped me. I've helped all my chat nigga pages. They're now turning, they're making a pretty penny, but they're doing it from clipping. These guys thought it was Drake buying social media. And I gotta explain to them, I gotta show you, there's one of them joints. I'm gonna try to get my hand on a document. Bro, old heads just found out about clipping. They just found out about clipping. Their biggest gripe was, how come when Academic says something, everybody and their mama posts it? When I say something, 2-page posts it. Well, I'm better than you anyway. But the real reason is that, did you not know what clipping is? So, I know this has been going on. In terms of but it's really manifested in these media people or even rappers, they kind of look at it like me, Drake. And by the way, here's the thing too. Most clipping pages, because Drake has always been so forward in terms of, for everything that Joe and all these older dudes complain about Drake is exactly why he's winning. Drake never rejected the new. They try to make Drake sound weird when they say, "Oh, he's talking about a streamer." Clipping came from streams. Clipping came from the Aiden Rosses of this world who realized that he could get more in the conversation of that. So that's where clipping started. Then clipping moved to music. Then clipping is pretty much now ubiquitous with the newest way of how to promote anything. And all of these guys, they're saying Drake, Aiden, and me run the internet because they didn't understand what clipping was. And all they need to realize, you got left in the dust because you're a dinosaur. I've been online for as long as I could tell. I got to adjust. Drake, who y'all claim should act his age and go to retirement home, he peeped how these streamers were getting popular and just keeping their names in the headlines. Yes, he's learned a thing or two, even though I still don't believe I don't think Drake pays no one. I think Drake will curry favor with you, most likely, in my opinion, by being cool with you. Yo, he's gonna shout you out. Yo, Train, what up, dog? XQC, what up? You know what the rap community says? Yo, you're weird. Why are you you're so corny? That's why you're shouting out streamers. No, he knows something that you don't. The reason why y'all think me, Drake, and Aiden bought the internet is because you guys are so far behind the 8 ball in terms of realizing how conversation works. It's the reason why I should be number 1 on this media list for the next 5 years. Y'all think that we're running a racketeering scam. Dog, they think me, Drake, and Aiden are running a racketeering scam because anytime Drake says something, everywhere. I say something, everywhere. No, you guys need to catch up. You're old. And it's not about age. It's about you guys still thinking that marketing works like it used to back in 2010. That PR works like it used to back in 2005. Catch up. So the people who call me, I basically told them yo, first of all, the inaccurate stuff here is, they said Steak was helping to bot Drake streams. Bro, Drake is getting over $150 million per year from what I heard from Steak. Why the fuck would they care about, let's make sure your music is botted? No, nigga, they just want Drake to play on Steak. That's it. They just want him to play on Steak and rep their brand. That's it. People are I've never seen such delusion ever in my life. They really think that steak. Oh, steak is helping to bot Drake streams. Have y'all seen the Spotify charts, man? Even after they filter the shit, basically 0.00001% of Drake streams ever get touched. Because it's organic. Somebody said you should play into it. Now, what if you didn't say I was getting paid for my opinion or my political stance? I would have played into it because I ain't gonna lie, these niggas are sleeping. And bro, I'm telling you. Which here's the funny thing about it. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it there. But the point what I'll say is that there was hundreds of thousands of dollars spent to try to harass a bunch of like either young kids or really faceless kids because they're not public figures. And the gatekeepers of this industry, all they could come up with is that basically there's something called clipping. Because they're like, how come when Drake said this and you say this, everybody is saying this? And I'm like, you got it, man. You got it. Anyway. But yeah. Some new info I found out, but Mr. Jeremy here. You know, I'm the only person that's open about ads, and I always will be. You worked at Hip Hop DX. How you think they paid your bitch ass? You're unsuccessful. You're untalented. Even in this attempt to try to respond to me, you showcase how much of a moron you were. You're a low IQ, low-level nimwit that intellectually can't keep up, that factually is basically desolate. You can't rock, you can't compete with me in no way, shape, or form. You could create Voltron. You are the weak link. One snap